Hi there, I'm Mike in the Dice, and this is the Kerbal Space Program. I originally wasn't going to show you the launch of my next thing, but I've been playing with some scripts. So I'm just going to load a couple. It's copy from, not load from. Right. I'm going to now. What I'm trying to do is this is my command module, which I would like to launch and stuff. What's going on here? I think it's acting like I don't in fact have control. Right, my RCX ports are disabled, so it's good. Right, so run IRC. It's not IRC, it's INC. And I need to quickly check that I've set myself a target, which I have. I'm competent, I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Well, what we're looking at, using Chaos, you can draw arrows upon the screen. It's very exciting. This arrow is up, and this arrow is a vector which is, it's not actually pointing to my target, as you can see. It's pointing to where, because that's my target there, right, my science lander thing. It's pointing to where that is going to be in approximately 3 minutes. 3 minutes being approximately the time it takes for me to get to orbit. And so it is currently measuring the angle between up and where my target is going to be in approximately 3 minutes. And when the angle, which it is displaying here, gets below a certain amount, it's going to run my launcher. That ink script is not my own. The only modification I've actually made to it is to make it run my launcher instead of the launcher that comes with. Which I probably a good idea is using the guy's entire launcher. It's a guy Reddit, and have I got his name in a convenient place? Because I might do. Because I should mention it's Snakestein from the Chaos Reddit and the Kerbal Space Program Reddit, who I'm kind of nicking this off. And basically what this is, in other words, what it's doing is it's waiting for a relatively sensible launch window when my target is going to be in about the right place. So in about 3 minutes, it'll be more or less directly over the space center. I think I need to fiddle with this a little bit. So it's got a de-warping thing. It waits for about 10 seconds to make sure that I've got enough time to de-warp, and then it should run the launcher script any second now. And there's a slight adjustment to my launcher script as well, which will come up as soon as we hit 1,000 meters. Because I've decided, instead of going go due up and then go that way and then go that way, I have instituted a gradual turn This arrow here is where I want my turn to be, and I was using that to see what I was doing when I was tuning it. I don't really need it anymore. I don't really need to know which way I'm going. But as you can see, it's automatically turning it gradually. So this is my nice hands-free launch thing. I had a lot of trouble with those boosters. They very much wanted to slam together and basically destroy the lower half of my spacecraft, which is not very nice of it. Nice of them, they're being so rude. So I've used Separatrons for the first time to get them the heck away from my aircraft. So normally around about 10k, which is where we're at here, I just say go to 45 degrees. But as you can see, we're doing a much more gradual turn, and the actually I'm going to see. There's a thing I saw. You can zoom in on the nav ball when you're in cockpit view, so I get a really good view of the nav ball. But as you can see, the prograde vector is lagging just behind where I'm pointing, so I'm always pushing the prograde vector close to where I'm planning to go. It's not perfect. It gets a bit wonky right at the top because I've got two conflicting things. One is when you get to 40k, just go straight for the horizon and go whoosh. And the other is when the apoapsis goes over 100,000, point prograde and stop. And I clearly haven't decided what I'm going to do about that. They kind of conflict. So we're reaching the very top. We're getting reasonably close to the end of the launch. I really need to do a circularization thing. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's going a bit wonky at the stage because it's not quite sure which way I want to point. I need to sort that. It's one of the many things I need to sort. Right, now the interesting thing is, clear. This may not be interesting to anybody but me, because I've only got the small version of the Chaos controller at this point. I actually have to delete some files at this point. Copy circ from from 0. Also need to get rid of. There's a lot of output which I don't need that I put in there. So that's a thing I need to sort. Now, where's my target? Come on. Quickly swap steering to node. Next node. And then turn the SAS off. So this goes for a bit of a weird, wacky dance. I think a certain amount of it it's trying to change the role as well. In fact, it probably is changing the role because normally steering has been set to R plus 00 minus 90. but that's fine. Just quickly checking I still have that set as a... I don't believe I do have that set as a target anymore. There you go, I seem to have lost the target at some point. At the moment, yeah, so this hasn't quite gotten me as close as I would have liked. There's still going to be, well, there is some confusion, actually. But at best it seems to be about 12k. I wonder if I can't... So I'm not sure. So I can't see it at the minute. Should be behind me somewhere. So I may have to work on tweaking when exactly the ink script throws me off the launch pad. Because at the moment I'm a bit too far behind, and it would be quite nice if so I'm clearly going to have to do some maneuvering to get close to my target. I'm going to check one thing, which is that I've got a full tank of monopropellant. Last time I did this, I forgot to turn off the RCS on when I was doing testing. I forgot to turn off the RCS on the actual command module, which meant that after all the maneuvers by this point, I actually had very little RCS left, and that was kind of bad. So, how are we getting on? 27 seconds. I should stop talking now. I should start paying attention to what's going on. So we're going to burn at about 7. I've got 3 Kerbals here. Basically, hopefully there's going to be 3 more Kerbals who will end up with lovely experience points after all this. Right, so I'm gonna call that done. Oh, I actually should have. Oh, never mind. I should have quit the. Doesn't matter actually. Yeah, well, actually, leave the steering where it is. I'm just going to turn the SAS on. I could just click outside and hit T, but apparently I didn't do that. Unlock steering. Make sure the steering is unlocked. Because the last thing I want is the two of them fighting amongst each other. Alrighty then. Okay, so let's switch to target mode. And I'm either heading towards it or heading away from it at high speed. Now I've got an intersect at 5 clicks here. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave that actually. So I'm going to add a maneuver. I'm literally just adding a maneuver to set it so that I can set an alarm clock for it. I can remember how to add things. Oh my lord, what is wrong with me? Wait, I'm confused. And this has been okay. That must be a quick add. Alright, alright. Alright, maneuver alarm, and we'll give it a minute, and we'll just get it to take me out of warp and not give me a message. I'm happy with that. Incidentally, I've also set up a Duna launch window alarm there for no good reason, other than I want to go to Duna at some point. And we'll close that for a moment because I'm not really going to be using it from here on in. So warpy warp. Some pretty pink orbit from some pretty coloured orbits for missions that I haven't decided, well, that I've taken but haven't done yet. Those are just put satellites in orbit. I may well do that with the one satellite, in fact. So I'm further out at the minute, which means I'm slower than it, so it's catching up. So it's actually not a bad. It's actually not worked out too badly. I guess I kind of would have liked to have immediately turned up in the exact right orbit, and not have, so I've had to do a whole, extra orbit. Oh no. But actually, I'll just destroy that node. It's just distracting. And I think that's done. So how close are we at the minute? Oh, we're actually separating slightly. So if I point to the target, my relative velocity, I'm quite sure what my relative velocity is going to do. Right, I should now be heading towards it, regardless of anything else. So I'm going to bring up my Rundesviz. Get rid of the orbital one. I don't think I care about the orbital one anymore. Okay, so I'm currently heading towards at about 38 meters a second, which is quite a while, quite quickly, but given our current distance, I'll take a while to get to it. Okay, so 3.63, right, okay. Actually, what I'll do, on target modes, if I move to retrograde, still using this enormous big launcher thing. It's got lots of fuel and it's actually reasonably nimble because of the Werner rocket that's on it. Yeah, that wasn't good. Didn't like that. Still got lots of monopropellant, so that's fine. because my I don't know what my relative velocity is between the two of them at the minute. It's all a bit wonky. Right, so that's good. So I'm pretty stationary toward pretty stationary. Let's turn that off. That was just confused. I was fighting the steering, which is never clever. Right, so now I'm my velocity relative to it is pretty close to zero. I did notice exactly. I was actually a lot. You can see when I went retrograde, I was pointing in a really weird direction, which is basically meant that I wasn't. I wasn't going directly towards it. I wasn't going directly away from it. I was going in some weird other direction. So now I should be more or less, at least in terms of I should be relatively moving quite close to it. In fact, you can tell that because target and prograde are quite close now, so we are more or less pointing towards one another. I am, however, going to point retrograde, because one should always point retrograde as soon as one can, on the grounds that if anything goes wrong, then you can immediately stop. Things are also running a little smoother than last time. When I was running some tests, and I was getting all kinds of stoppages and things. Things were acting weird. Now, if I go to my cabin view, what I'm wanting to do, I like this view now, this is really good. Staring at the devil. I'm not actually pointing directly at my target. I'm drifting slightly off to one side. So that points directly away from my target. That's the vector I need to thrust at to stop my current velocity. So when that becomes, as I get closer and closer, it becomes more obvious. The difference between those two becomes greater because the difference between being off that way when I'm far away and being off that way when I'm close. Anyway, it's much bigger. So I want to wait until that's quite a distance away, and I really should be paying attention to how close. But as you can see, I'm still 1.5 clicks away, so that's pretty good. But when that gets quite far away, that's when I want to kill my velocity again and reorient myself, because that's when because at the moment I will just miss. Well, I probably won't just miss. I will probably miss by quite a bit. So theoretically, I mean, when that gets to like 90 degrees, that's when I absolutely must. Ooh, that's quite speeding up as well. But 90 degrees is when I really must kill my velocity. There's a game of chicken. How brave am I feeling? I'm going to start round about now. Because the disadvantage of using this great big huge rocket to orient myself is that in fact I could cause myself problems. Especially if I do that, especially if I just don't pay attention. Anyway, right. So you can see that the target's getting much closer now. Woo! Okay, so right, I want to go. I'm going to get out of here. That's what I want to do. Right, so what are we locked to? We're not. Let's lock to nothing or something like onto stability and aim towards ourselves. And I work out that. So I was wondering whether or not a text message I got was important because I'm expecting someone to come and deliver me things, and it's not important as it turns out. So I need to decide really how close I am comfortable with having this enormous great big fuel tank, which is just going to drift around. 500 meters out. That's got to be acceptable, surely. So I'm gonna. Now this sounds a bit weird, but I'm gonna put my brakes on because that turns on my RCF ports. So now I can jet towards, and I'm extremely manoeuvrable now, which is nice. Bring up my fuel thing. Yeah, oodles of. I've got oodles of Delta V. Well, fuel. Just gonna take a very brief moment to check my phone. Very rude, that. You know, you bring someone along and you say, yeah, oh, okay. A bit of bureaucracy. That was actually a useful piece of information. But there you go, it's nothing you care about. 3 meters a second, so going to take about 100 seconds to get, well, I did a bit more. So we'll just go, let's go to 4 meters a second. And then I'm going to point myself retrograde again. Oh, look at that, so nimble. I'm going to speed time up a little bit. Now you can see how I'm not pointing towards it. More messages. Okay, it's the same message again, I think. Never mind. Right, so now I'm pointing retrograde, so I'm going to kill my velocity. It takes a lot longer than with the enormous thing. Okay, so I'm going to turn off stability assist. Well, not turn it off, but not point it towards anything. And now I'm going to point toward the target again, which is now 88 meters away. Oh, I'm really beginning to having to start thinking in terms of actually docking. Right, let's go to a mighty 2 meters a second. This has been a lot less painful, I have to say, than some of my other launches. Like I say, I might want to. Let's just go prograde right now. Retrograde right now. There may be some fiddling to do with the script to the timing script, but this is pretty good. I think I will. Yeah, we'll just ease our way in now. Turn off that. Because now I don't think I want to do. Well, actually, maybe do. Yeah, let's go even slower. I can do it all manually at this point. Just look eyeballing the nav ball. I should have put lights on that buggering thing. I've put lights on the sideways docking clamps, but it didn't occur to me to put any on the. Let's stop now. Right. Okay. So now, do I have lights on this thing? Do I have lights on me? No. That's a bit silly. Of course, and you know, just as fortune would have it, we're deep in the dark side. Well, that's a lesson to learn, isn't it? Do your best to put lights on anything that might you might need to attach another ship to. So I've put my. I seem to be in docking mode now. No, I'm not in docking mode. It's a complete lie. Yeah. I'm gonna right HJ. Okay, so I'm going to use a combination of the rotation keys, the WAS and D, and use IJKL, H and N. To see what if I. Right, let's get rid of that. It's just being annoying. Why did I not put lights on that? Because I are stupid. That is why. Do you know what I really should do is just. No, it's not there, was it? I think I'm just going to have to wait until sunlight. Admittedly, it's going to be a bit of a while. So we're just going to warp through. If I get too far away or too close, then I'll reorient myself. But I swear next time I'm putting lights on. See, if I was doing the sidey-waysy ones, I'd be brilliant because I got those lights there. Or, well, the other option is to put lights on the bottom of this thing. Either one would have been better than what I'm currently doing, which is having to wander around because it's dark. Oh, I'm getting a bit close. Getting a bit far away now. So we'll move in. Put ourselves a retrograde. really wish I had slightly more mod propellant. I probably have enough, but I'm just not sure I feel like I've got enough. I'm pointing in a slightly funny direction. For what it's claiming to be a retrograde burn, but I'll take its word for it. Oh, well, now we have sunlight, which is brilliant. So... Alright, let's head towards... Now we can see what we're doing. I don't know which way I'm pointing. There we go. Eek. Let's just kill our velocity right now. Okay. Man, I should get one of the there are various mods for sensible docking things. Sensible docking nav ball, which I don't have. A number of gear. Yeah! Yes! We have everything! We have contact! So now I am controlling this here thing, and I can do things like retract the panels, which I don't actually want to do right now. That's my first docking, I think. My first actual, like, in-space dock. So now all I need to do is create and dock the boosters on the side, which might be a bit complicated, and then create and dock the booster for the back end, which hopefully will be less complicated than the boosters. Should be about as complicated as that docking what I just done. I also count as having established a new orbital station around Kerbal, which was one of the things, one of my missions. So there you go. When this orbits the moon, I'll get oh, that's interesting. No, I've got. Oh yeah, I've got that. Yeah, so when this gets around the moon and sits there for 10 seconds, I'll get the moon one as well. And then those are the satellite ones. So hurrah for me. So right, there we go. That's you know, it's a nice pretty shot of my new station. With sunrise. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, especially if you want to see how well the other docking manoeuvres go. You can also find us at www.nearlyenoughdice.com, which is our role-playing game team podcast and blog. And until we meet again, this is Mike from Nearly Enough Dice telling you to always reach for the stars.